Good evening, everyone. Madam Clerk?
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec, notice of which was sent to the record in the Star Ledger and was posted on the municipal bulletin board.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Here.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Here. Would everybody please rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So we have a very special night here tonight. We're, as you know, we're celebrating Black History Month, and we had a special event tonight down in the Civic Center featuring black business owners here in Hackensack. This year's theme for Black History Month was labor, so we thought it would be nice to feature some of our black-owned businesses here in Hackensack, and we had some in here, and we had a great time down there with some great food, I'll tell you that much. And I have some plaques for those that were here tonight. We're going to do those first. So as I go through these, do we know who's here? This group? Thank you. Would the folks from 14 Parish please come forward? Are you here? Yep. So 14 Parish has been on Anderson Street for a long, long time, and they got great food there. And I just enjoyed some of their oxtails. They were delicious. We loved it. So it says, celebrate African-American business for 2025 Black History Month as the Mayor and Council honor 14 Parish Caribbean Kitchen for their contributions as an African-American business within our community. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Iconic Coffee. You up here? Did he come up? Maybe not. Anyway, Iconic Coffee is a new coffee shop on Main Street. One of the new businesses on Main Street. They make great coffee. Art and Soul Tattoo. Are they up here yet? No. There are probably a lot of stuff. People are putting their stuff away, so they might find their way up here. Peniel Pharmacy. I don't see. And CMOS, I see, is here. Yep. Yeah. So CMOS also is a newer business on Main Street, and it celebrates African-American businesses for 2025 Black History Month as the Mayor and Council honor the CMOS Factory for their contributions as an African-American business within our community. Thank you so much. Everything was great tonight. Appreciate everything. Thank you. Is Better Taste up here? Not yet. Anyway, if they come up, we'll make sure we call them up later on if we see them stroll up here. So we have some other business to take care of. We have some promotions tonight. Let me move these out of the way. We're going to do these in the order they're set. Okay. Gregory Ziza, please come forward. You want blue or black? Blue it is. Okay. Mom's going to hold the Bible.
Should you hold the Bible?
Left hand on the Bible, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Gregory Ziza,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of police captain
of police captain
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my
so
ability.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Greg. Great job, man. Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you, sir. We're going to do some pictures afterwards, I'm sure. Franklin Bay, please come forward. How are you, sir? Left hand on the Bible, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Franklin Bay,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that it will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United
in the
States
United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of police lieutenant
of police lieutenant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Just need your John Hancock. Thank you. Jason Gritkowski. Got some fan club, man. Who's holding? Boys? Okay, you guys both hold that together. Dad's going to put his left hand on the Bible, and he's going to raise his right hand. And please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jason Kurkowski,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the
of the
Constitution
United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and
and
allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my
so
ability.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, Robert Girardi. Hey guys, how are you? Okay, we're gonna come on this side. Yeah. Who's holding them? Kids or mom? Okay, left hand on the Bible. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Robert Girardi,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
as the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congrats, guys. Sign here. Panagiotis Aritas. Was I close? Left hand on the Bible, please. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Boniotis Soretis,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. All right, I'd like to call up Director Guidetti real quick. Oh, let this young man sign. Go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Let's have another round of applause for these gentlemen here. Proud day for your families. I had a conversation with each of you on Friday night. I didn't check what we were supposed to do, so we'll leave it with us. But I do owe you a story because I know Captain Ziza loves my story, so I figured I'd have a story that I need to give you a little bit of a message as you move on and embark on this incredible ranks that you achieved. So a wise leader once gathered his followers and handed them each an unlit torch. He then led them up through the darkness toward the top of a mountain where a single fire burned. When they reached the summit, he lit his torch from the flame and then turned to the others. The fire represents knowledge, responsibility, and leadership, he said. Now, one by one, each of you light your torches. As each person stepped forward, their torches ignited, and soon the entire mountaintop was aglow. And then the leader spoke again. The light I carry does not grow dim when I share it. Instead, it spreads. Leadership is not about holding power. It's not about rank. It's about passing it on, guiding others, and ensuring the fire never goes out. The lesson, and please take this with you, gentlemen. Today, as you step into these new roles, you are carrying the torch forward. Your responsibility is not just to lead, but to inspire others, to build those around you, and make sure the flame of dedication, integrity, and service not only continues, but grows brighter every day. So please remember that as you go forward. Congratulations again. Just real quick, I want to speak to the city manager and the mayor and council. Without your support, without your expectations of this fine police department, things like this do not happen. So on behalf of the PD, I can't thank you enough for these promotions. I know we just had a few not too long ago. So thank you for that. And thank you for also supporting the innovation. Thank you for supporting even the federal government coming in to look at what we do here, because we will be the model for the area. So thank you, and again, thanks for your support. Chief, you want to come up? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Director. I'd like to start off by thanking the mayor, the city council, and the city manager for these much-needed promotions, and also a platform tonight to swear in these exceptional officers in front of their family and friends. As chief of the department, it is my honor to promote these police officers to their new ranks. It's much deserved and quite an accomplishment. Promotions in law enforcement are not only about a badge and a rank. It's about greater responsibility. Responsibility to the citizens and the city that you service, as well as your fellow police officers that you will mentor and supervise. I have no doubt in my mind that we all will push forward, boost morale, and create positivity within HPD. Congratulations. I'd like to turn this over to Captain Ziza, followed by Lieutenant Bay, who'd like to say a couple words. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. First, thank you everybody in the audience for coming here. This is a really important moment for the officers getting promoted. They take a lot of time out of their life, a lot of effort, as you've seen from your dining room tables of books and study material, and it is a very competitive test. In the past few years, we've seen the highest scores ever in our sergeant's exam, and it's a credit to everyone that gets promoted off of these lists that they really put in the time and effort. So thank you for coming and your support for them. It really means a lot. Mayor and Council, thank you for this ceremony and previous ceremonies like it. It's really important for us to show our younger generation, who include some of our recruits who are actually with us this week for agency training. You'll notice them by their shiny heads in the back. But again, really important, and thank you for having this, because it's important to show a future. We're showing a tangible future for them to look towards and work towards, and for them to put that effort in and study hard and get promoted. And this is really important to show them. So thank you again. To our sergeants here, sorry, I'm not done. To our sergeants, lieutenant here, this is a really important step for you. You go from being an informal leader to now that formal leader. And you've already shown that informal leadership with your, just specifically for them, for your ability to train people, running training classes, your special weapons and tactics, seasoned detectives. They've already shown their leadership, and building on it with this, they're showing their ability to now lead these men and women on the street. And something to remember is always look to mentor, as the director and the chief already said, stole my thunder a little bit. Always look to mentor your officers. It's not about just managing them. They might come to you with a tough question on a tough call. Not only do you give them the answer, you explain why, and you help them grow and mentor them for the future. So take that with you, please. Remember that. That's the most important thing. Never forget that the most important asset in our police department, in any department, is the people that work there. And again, back to everybody here, thank you for coming. This is really important. Even if they don't tell you themselves, it means the world that you're here to support them. So again, thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Good evening. I just wanted to start off with thanking Chief Antista, congratulating Captain Ziza, Sergeant Krakowski, Sergeant Girardi, Sergeant Shreddit, but especially thank all of you. Without your support, your guidance, and your faith, we wouldn't be standing up here. So we're going to pay it forward, and we're going to work to build the department for a brighter future. That's it.
Thank you, Michael. So on behalf of the City Council, myself, we're honored to do these promotions, these 5 fine officers. We know that you'll do fine. We want to wish you health and safety while you're out there. It's not an easy job. You now, guys, some of you were leaders, but now 3 new leaders here. It's not an easy job. We know that. You have our support, and anytime you need us, come to the city manager and situations, let us know. But we appreciate all the hard work you put in. We appreciate all you folks coming out tonight and supporting these fine young men on a very important night, and I'm sure they'll remember this for the rest of their lives. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Yes. You guys want to do a picture up here? And all the pop paparazzi out there, get your camera. So I'll stand up here, you guys are on the front. You guys feel free to come up to take the picture. Don't be shy. Steph, you should come on this side.
Yeah.
I think they're done. Oh, well, too late. Great job, guys. Congratulations, man.
With the chief, wait, get some.
Some with the
Yes.
chief.
Very excited for
No, it's all
you.
right. You know, it's all right.
Maybe not by him, so go on the other side, right? Oh, all right. Oh, wait, here's one more guy, one
Oh, we
more.
got a late coming.
They come.
What's he belong to? It's okay, he's a Met fan.
Congratulations, everyone. Well deserved. Enjoy. We look forward to it. Good career for everybody. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Bless.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good, Michael? Yep,
Congratulations
got it.
again.
Um, Do a 5-minute recess?
Yes, at least let everybody go.
I didn't really say congratulations.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute recess for those who want to leave after this ceremony we just had.
because there was 100 and something people in here? Do you want me to open the window? Body heat.
Okay. So, going to move forward with business. Need a motion to approve the minutes of the February 11th, 2025 COW meeting.
The only person that was absent was Leo.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. And with that, we turn it over to the city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all who attended tonight's Black History Month celebration in the Civic Center, highlighting various African-American businesses, owners in our city. Multiple residents have reached out with concerns about traffic issues at the intersection of Anderson and Clarendon. A four-way stop will be installed at the intersection to alleviate some of the traffic issues that have been occurring there. Hackensack Recreation is hiring summer camp counselors. Camp begins June 30th. Apply at the Recreation Department. Youth Spring Track registration is open for ages 7 to 14. It runs from March 18th through May 29th. Hackensack baseball and softball registration is also open. Season begins in April. Baseball and softball coaches are still needed. Contact Recreation for more information. NorthJersey.com has reported that Hackensack is rated the fifth lowest taxes in the county, with Teterboro coming in at the lowest, followed by East Rutherford, Carlstadt, and Moonachie. The last day for candidates to submit petitions to the city clerk to run in the May municipal election for city council is this Thursday, February 27th by 4 p.m. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, new business. Ready, Deb?
Yep.
Resolution 95-25.
This is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 6-2025, an ordinance to amend and update Chapter 141, Article 8 of the Code of the City of Hackensack, stormwater control to reflect amendments to state regulations. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public.
But before we do, there is a
Yeah,
procedural issue we need to address. So when this ordinance was introduced, it did go to the planning board, and it was also sent to the Bergen County Engineering Department for a review to ensure that it was consistent with the state model ordinance, which is what this is being based upon. They had a few minor non-substantive corrections and additions, and they this morning approved it as revised. So in order to make sure that procedurally this is correct, we're going to need to make a motion to amend the existing ordinance to reflect these, again, minor changes. I mean, they're really typographical changes, one or two words here and there, a quotation mark that they didn't want, little things like that. But nonetheless, we would ask that you make a motion to amend the ordinance to be consistent with the recommendations of the Bergen County Department of Engineering, and then we would we would open it up to the public for their public hearing, and then at that point you could move to adopt the ordinance.
Okay, so I move to amend this ordinance to reflect the changes made by the engineers.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed? And with that,
Now you
anyone
can
from the
open the public
public?
hearing for an ordinance as amended. As I said, my opinion is that these were not substantive changes, so we do not need to go back to first reading. We can adopt tonight.
All right, so do I need a,
And the planning board did send their approval, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then we're good.
Offer.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone from the public who would like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward. Seeing no one from the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Motion to adopt the ordinance.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed.
Okay. Sorry. A lot of paperwork. Okay. Resolution 96-25 is a resolution for final adoption of ordinance number 7- oh, I'm sorry, I never read the,
No.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack County of Bergen and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 6-2025 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted. Sorry about
Thank you. Resolution 96-25.
This is the final adoption of ordinance number 7-2025, an ordinance authorizing acceptance of deed of storm culvert easement between RFEHA Urban Renewal LLC, RFEHB Urban Renewal LLC, RFEH Retail Urban Renewal LLC, and the City of Hackensack installed upon portions of Block 11102, lots 1, 3, 4, and 5, formerly known as Block 300, lots 3.02, 3.03, 3.04, and 3.05. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward. Seeing no members of the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Motion to adopt the ordinance.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 7-2025 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 97-25.
This is a resolution for the final adoption of ordinance number 8-2025, an ordinance authorizing financial agreement with 463 Main Street Urban Renewal LLC, an urban renewal entity authorized pursuant to the long-term tax exemption law NJSA 40A:20-1 et sec, for the development of a residential apartment project upon Block 411, lots 2.01, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 18. This ordinance has been published according to law and now calls for a public hearing.
Need a motion to open to the public, please.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Anyone who'd like to speak to this ordinance and this ordinance only, please come forward. Seeing no one from the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. I need a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack, County of Bergen, and State of New Jersey that ordinance number 8-2025 has passed its second and final reading and is hereby adopted.
Thank you. Resolution 98-25.
This is a resolution for the introduction of ordinance number 9-2025, an ordinance formally accepting the deed of dedication from Sanzeri 2011 LLC to the City of Hackensack for property, Block 702, Lot 2, commonly known as the Alfred and Mary Sanzeri Garden, within Court Street Plaza, for public park and open spaces purposes, and to authorize erection of improvements within.
Need a motion to introduce the ordinance?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed.
Be it resolved that the above ordinance, being ordinance 9-2025, is introduced, is now passed on first reading, and that said ordinance shall be considered for final passage at a meeting to be held on March 11th, 2025, at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be reached at the regular meeting place of the City Council, and at such time and place all persons interested be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance, and that the city clerk be and she is hereby authorized and directed to publish said ordinance according to law with a notice of its introduction and passage on first reading, and of the time and place when and where said ordinance will be further considered for final passage.
Thank you. Resolution 99-25.
It's a resolution authorizing tax appeal attorney to settle the cases on the attached list dated February 6, 2025, that were scheduled for trial or settlement.
Need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 100-25.
This is a resolution authorizing tax refunds for duplicate payments and payments made in error.
Need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 101-25.
It's a resolution authorizing 100% veterans deduction for 804 Summit Avenue.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 102-25.
It's a resolution concurring with Planning Board's redevelopment investigation findings regarding Block 405, Lot 3, Sears site, and designating it as an area in need of redevelopment for condemnation purposes.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 103-25.
This is a resolution authorizing transfer of 2024 budget appropriations.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 104-25.
A resolution awarding contract for engineering services to Suburban Engineering for CSO management and backup C2 licensed wastewater operator.
Need a motion?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 105-25.
It's a resolution authorizing the awarding of a co-op contract for 1 year for Barracuda email protection service.
Need a motion, please?
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Resolution 106-25.
It's a resolution authorizing payment of bills.
Need a motion to pay the bills? Or,
Offer.
sorry,
Offer.
offer. Need a second. Roll call?
Councilmember Von Rudenberg.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia is absent. Councilmember Carroll is absent. Mayor LaBrus.
Aye. I'm sorry, abstain. You mentioned Councilman Carroll's name. I just want to announce to the public, I probably should have done this earlier, but we were told just before the meeting that he experienced a death in his family, so please keep Councilman Carroll in your prayers. I don't know who it was or what part of his family, but keep him in your prayers. So we go into the consent agenda. Does anybody have any conflicts?
No.
None? None here. Continue.
Okay. The following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda, and consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes, including any exceptions and/or additions. Consent agenda consists of Resolution 107-25 through 116-25. 107-25 is a resolution determining the form and other details of not exceeding $4,600,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2025, of the City of Hackensack and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and providing for their sale to the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank in the State of New Jersey pursuant to the state fiscal year 2025 New Jersey Water Bank Environmental Infrastructure Financing Program. Goes with Ordinance 38-2019. Resolution 108-25 is a resolution determining the form and other details of not exceeding $14,630,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2025 of the City of Hackensack and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and providing for their sale to the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank in the State of New Jersey pursuant to the state fiscal year 2025 New Jersey Water Bank Environmental Infrastructure Financing Program. This goes with Ordinance 39-2019. Resolution 109-25 is a resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of loan agreements to be executed by the City of Hackensack and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and each of the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank and State of New Jersey, acting by and through the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and further authorizing the execution and delivery of an escrow agreement, all pursuant to the state fiscal year 2025 New Jersey Water Bank Environmental Infrastructure Financing Program, which goes with Ordinance 38-2019. Resolution 119-25 is a resolution authorizing the execution and delivery of loan agreements to be executed by the City of Hackensack and the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, and each of the New Jersey Infrastructure Banks in the State of New Jersey, acting by and through the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and further authorizing the execution and delivery of an escrow agreement, all pursuant to the state fiscal year 2025 New Jersey Water Bank Environmental Infrastructure Financing Program. This goes with Ordinance 39-2019.
Excuse me,
Resolution
Deb,
111.
hold up one second. I had that as Resolution 110-25, and you said 119, I believe.
I'm sorry, it is 110. Resolution 111-25 is a resolution providing for the combination of certain bond ordinance authorizing the issuance of several obligation bonds, Series 2025 of the City of Hackensack in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, into an issue of bonds aggregating not to exceed $4,600,000 in principal amount. Resolution 112-25 is a resolution approving ambulance reimbursement. Resolution 113-25 is a resolution authorizing raffle licenses. Resolution 114-25 is a resolution authorizing support of publishing legal notices on official government websites. Resolution 115-25 is a resolution rejecting all bids for the Firehouse Engine 2 improvements, and Resolution 116-25 is a resolution authorizing leave of absence without pay for Leroy Montgomery, who's a sanitation worker. Need a motion?
Need a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Okay, thank you for that. So with that, I need a motion to open to the public.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Anybody from the public, please come forward, give your name to the clerk, and you will have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Reverend Carolyn Davis. I just have a question. The Walcott on the corner of Anderson and Main Street. I just want to know, I really don't know how that got approved and went through a traffic study. It is a constant issue there, and I don't know what's going to be done about it. There's no pull-in for UPS trucks or anybody else, and they park on the corner of Main and Anderson. And if you're trying to make a right-hand turn, it's very dangerous because they're turning into Anderson traffic and they can't see around those trucks. So I don't know what's going to happen with it now. It should never have been approved the way it is, and it's a constant traffic problem.
So I'll have traffic look, any, if traffic look at that. I actually concur with Reverend Davis because I've seen delivery trucks parked on Anderson up near the corner there, which makes it hard for people to make the turn. So we need to make sure, through the company, the management company, that those vehicles are pulled farther down Anderson, not to cause a problem.
Maybe also have Albert look and make a call to the Walcott, because I'm
Yeah.
sure that it was
Yep.
talked about that they had to pull into the garage. And if they're not doing that, then they have to enforce it there too.
Thank you. Next person, please.
Brownita Sissy Sharif, 2nd Street, Hackensack. I just want to say the affair tonight was very informative for me because I didn't know all those businesses was on Main Street, those black-owned businesses, but it wasn't well advertised because, as you see, it was really,
Yeah, we needed more people.
yeah, and
Yep.
we needed more. I don't know where to advertise. Somebody sent me the flyer. And
We
it
did
said it was
put it
the
on, it was on all the
website.
social media outlets, it was out there.
Yeah,
so.
I called about 5 people that was down there. I had just called them before they got there, and they came, so I just
That's why I
wanted
said
to-
next time we do it again,
Yeah,
we'll
everything
make sure to
has
do a
to
better
be-
job.
Yes, and so that was good. That was in 2018. I gave a big affair, a Black History Fair. I remember when I was on the rec board, and Dave had told us that we weren't going to have a Black History Month after it had been approved. So we were all kind of very disappointed. So Dave told us about 2 times we're not going to have it. So I looked at Dave and said, "Yeah, we're going to have it." So I don't know how we was going to have it when I opened my mouth. I don't know where the money was going to come from, but the community pulled together when I asked them to, and we had a big affair at Mount Olive Baptist Church. I don't know if you remember that, but I went against the grain, and for that, I think that's why I got booted off that recreation board. But anyway, God gave me another blessing. So a couple of months ago when I was here, I mentioned the school on 2nd Street. There's still a problem there, and I don't think you've done anything about that yet. The parents come at 8 o'clock. There's no cone in the street or nothing to let you know that there's a school. There are people flying off of 1st Street. They come down 2nd Street. They don't even notice there's a school there across from the park. I forgot the name of the school. It's been there over 30 years. I don't know why the director
You
hasn't
talking about
asked-
Hiller School?
No, on 2nd Street, across from Carver Park. When I was here a couple months ago, I mentioned it.
Like a nursery school?
Oh, the
Is
nursery
it the Greater
school.
Bergen?
Greater Bergen?
Greater
Greater
Bergen.
Bergen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been there for over 30 years. There's no lines in the street. The parents have to hold one child and pull one out the car. It's very hectic, especially about around 8 o'clock in the morning. So I would like to see better, even a crosswalk, some lines or something, a cone in the street, slow children, because there's a park there. They should slow down anyway, because it's a park.
Absolutely.
So please, if you could make note of that, because it was nothing done when I was here a couple
Got
of
that, Ben? He's
couple
got
of
it.
weeks ago.
We'll take care of it.
Okay, and these cards came out, these lead cards. Are you familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're for people who have rental properties, I'm
Yes.
thinking. Okay, so here's my problem with this. We're allowed to get our own company, are we not? As long as they're certified. It doesn't have to be
I'll
the city
defer to- I
card.
think we defer to Steve, right?
What the question?
For the lead testing, can they get their own company?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
absolutely correct. You
So
can.
here's the
Yes, you
thing
can.
with this card, it makes it look like you guys have a company that you could choose for $250, then $150. When you got units, that's $400. Then you got $20 for this and $30 for that. That's a lot of money. But I happened to find a company in Montclair that's going to do it way cheaper than this. So, I mean, the extra money, it's going to be at least $100 off of this, 75 off. So I think you should have searched around, because when you send this card out, it looks like there's no other options. But I had to use my noodle. I said, as long as it's a licensed company, it should work. So
Did they
that's,
come out from the city?
Yes.
Yes,
So let me explain. So this is all comes from a state mandate, right?
I
You know,
understand.
this is not something that we
Right.
decided to do. And what happens is there is a ton of administrative effort in terms of trying to make sure that this this is put into place accurately and correctly. And so this company, Lou Environmental, that we've contracted with, I think quite cleverly has, you know, come up with this model that allows municipalities to be able to easily track lead inspections. And they are doing this like everywhere in the state. I mean, they have hundreds of municipalities, as far as I can tell, who have signed up for their service, because you know, we just don't have the manpower in our construction office to be able to manage all of that. But certainly, and look, they send the card out, you know, they say this is what you have to do. They're saying we're willing to do it, but absolutely, you are not obligated to use this company if you do not wish to do so. For a lot of people, it's just easier because they don't want to spend the time, you know, going around like you might to search for somebody else.
yeah, but all you got to do is go on the phone and call one or two companies, and bam, they give you the answer. You don't have to search. It's not a lot of stress. But when you save $75 to $100 per unit, and you have more than one unit, that's a lot of money. So this was like very disappointing, and I've already, you know, said a lot to the community. Get your own company. You know, it's like a kickback type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what it is. But one more thing I just have to say. I had requested a handicap space in front of my house at 341 2nd Street. Now, I have a driveway. I have 3 drivers in my house. We use our driveway. 2nd Street has plenty of parking. I have an aunt that is 101 years old. And when she comes down that electric chair from the house, it's better for me to come straight to the truck than to try to wiggle her in a driveway with a wheelchair, myself who has a handicap sticker. She's 101. Why should I have to take her off the chair, round into the driveway, and there's a wall on both sides, my steps, and there's a business next to me. You can't really maneuver her safely. So the officer turned it down because he said, you have a driveway. Well, there's another house on the corner of High and 2nd Street. They have a driveway and a 2-car garage. And the entrance is on 2nd Street, the garage is on High Street. So I want to know what's the difference in that, because I don't know if anybody in there is 101 years old. It's easier for me to bring my aunt straight down off that chair, go to the curb, and put her in, because I have more room to maneuver. In the driveway, there is no room. I mean, I can get the wheelchair anybody, but I got to struggle, wiggle the chair, get her this way, get her that, and I have to have at least 3 people to help me. So I would like them to reconsider putting a handicap space in front of 341 2nd Street. My aunt will be 102 this year, and I think she deserves to have comfortability when I take her out.
What's the address, ma'am, again?
Pardon me?
Your address again? Where is it?
341 2nd Street. Traffic came out and looked, but their reason is that I have a driveway. But I have 3 drivers. I use my driveway. I have my antique car in the driveway, which works. It's registered and insured, so that counts as 1. My other kids have 2 others got cars, and I have 2 other cars, but I park on the street. But I would like to have that there so I can get my 101, almost 102 aunt in her car.
We will look into it, Ms. Sharif.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next person, please.
Good evening. My name is Pedro Cruz. I live in Hackensack since 1993. I moved here from Brooklyn. And I have a brief statement to read about the Climate Superfund Act. Empower New Jersey, make polluters pay. Sorry. Extreme climate events cost the United States $150 billion each year, an estimate that doesn't account for loss of life, health care related costs, and damages to our environment. These massive and rapidly increasing costs already fall upon our residents and taxpayers. The Climate Superfund Act is urgently needed to shift the burden of paying for these damages onto the companies responsible for them in order to protect the health, environment, and economic future of our New Jersey community. The Climate Superfund Act, introduced by Senators McKean and Smith and Assemblyman Allen and Assemblywomen Hall and Collazo Gill, is groundbreaking legislation that would make the largest fossil fuel corporations pay for the damages caused by climate change. Modeled after similar legislation passed in New York and Vermont, the bill applies the logic of the original Superfund Act, which requires polluters to pay to clean up their contaminated sites, to the climate crisis. No estimates are yet available for New Jersey, but New York's version would raise up to $3 billion of revenue annually for the next 25 years. And we can estimate that for New Jersey, that number would be $2 billion. I'm here with a colleague, Chris Noel. Say anything? Yeah, go ahead. I'm done. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Is there a number on that, is there a bill for that?
Hi, good evening. Chris Noel, N-O-W-E-L-L. I'm a Fort Lee resident, but, I know Pedro. I also came to kind of support him in urging you to pass a resolution that would show support for this act, this bill that's in front of the Senate and the Assembly right now. So the Senate number is 3545 and the Assembly number is 4696. And also I'd like to add that it was co-sponsored by Bergen County Assemblywomen Park and Hayter and Senator Gordon Johnson. So really we're trying to build momentum, right? We're reaching out to municipalities around New Jersey, all over New Jersey actually, but we're up here. And trying to get resolutions passed so that we can kind of move this along and get passed in the state legislature. So I wanted to mention, too, that really, like as Pedro said, it would make the largest fossil fuel corporations pay for the damages that the regular public is already experiencing and will continue to experience. But in particular in New Jersey, for example, just one impact that would really be very local is that Bergen County will need, it's estimated, 69 miles of seawalls by 2040 at a cost of $500 million. And that's for the Hudson and Hackensack rivers. Okay, that, it says seawalls, but along the rivers there, since they're tidal. And and of course, the Hackensack River flows through Hackensack as well. So some of that money, we hope would be offset by the money that would be generated by this act. And then municipalities can apply for grants from the state to get money to pay for things such as flood walls. Other things include infrastructure resiliency too. So it's not just mitigation. It could be for energy efficiency and weatherization upgrades to schools and municipal buildings, upgrades to stormwater drainage systems. So I know that combined sewer overflows can be an issue in a lot of towns, especially down here. And so, as Pedro said, New York passed this law. Governor Hochul signed it in December last year. And so Vermont also did pass it. So it's going through some processing before New York can start seeing money. But for the municipalities that pass a resolution, there is no financial risk, there's no liability risk. The worst case scenario is the state would have to battle in the courts with it. But for a town to pass municipality, there's zero risk. And the other thing I want to mention too, that's a point that's brought up, is that the price of oil and gas would not increase because that's set by global markets. And, oh, okay. So yeah, so that's not an issue regarding this. And yeah, I shared a bunch of information with you about 2 weeks ago, and then I sent it again today. So you can take a look at it. Please let me or Pedro know if you have any questions.
Are there bills in that? The emails?
I don't
Not
think
sure.
I attached the actual bill, but I can send that to you. I sent the resolution to you.
Please email it to me.
Sure, sure.
Thanks.
No. Right, the bill was not, but the resolution. Right. So I can send that.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. All right. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Next person from the public, please.
I'm Rich Serbo, Spring Valley Avenue. I was wondering, the weather's getting nice, so that's, not to change the subject on the weather we just heard about or whatever, but, so I'm wondering when a roster or something will be set up to pave streets, roads everywhere around town. Is there a set up roster for that?
Yes.
Starting in when? The
They're
warm
always
weather?
planned out.
When does it start, Mr.
We're
Caruso?
we're just about ready to release it, Mr. Servo, of what we're
Okay.
going to pay for 2025.
So they start in April, I guess, right, or something?
Yeah, well, you have to, because that's when asphalt becomes cheaper, because you don't have a winter mix. So we usually you have to wait till, I think it's April 1st, I believe,
Oh,
so.
okay. Okay, another thing is, I've been around town, and there's a lot of homes that are in need of refurbishment and repairs, and I'm shocked by that. There's so many, okay? And the reason they're not doing it or fixing up their homes is the cost of contractors now is ridiculous. They want so much money to do work on your home, so it's better to just leave it like that. And they don't want to do it also because if they do fix up somewhat, you're going to come back with the annual, assessment, annual assessment like they did in Old England. It's the Old England, English kings did that to the peasants in England. So you're doing it here now every year. I don't see why you're doing it, but it's keeping people from fixing up their homes, okay? That's a fact. A few people told me about that, and think it over, okay? Because you're allowing people to leave their homes to go to hell, as they say. So, whatever. Look, another thing about the development. I know you're riding this wave of development, and it's going on and on and on, and it's all we hear. It's wonderful, okay? But I don't see any jobs coming along with this into Hackensack. If you look on any of the job sites, there's quite a few of them. No jobs are in Hackensack, okay? They're in other towns. You go here, let's go there, let's go here. Let's go get an interview over there. There aren't many jobs coming to Hackensack. You didn't really bring a lot of businesses in with this development. There's a lot of sandwich shops, or you can get a Hero, or you can get a cup of coffee. I get that. It's beautiful, but there's not many jobs or new businesses in Hackensack going along with this luxury development. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next person from the audience, please.
Good evening, Mayor LaBrosse, Deputy Mayor, Councilwoman. First, I just want to once again congratulate Captain Ziza, Lieutenant Bay, Sergeant Grakowski, Sergeant Girardi, and Sergeant Soretis on their promotions, and thank you for recognizing them. So I've stood up here many times before, as you know. It is my honor to stand up here today as someone running for City Council, and I am here primarily because there are going to be a lot of things, I'm sure, that we disagree on over the course of the next couple of weeks. What Hackensack's present looks like, what Hackensack's future looks like. But I think there's an area where we can certainly agree, and that is on expanding access to voting. I sent, or actually I delivered last Tuesday, a letter regarding early voting. I have not heard back. There was no resolution on today's docket. I just want to share the contents and then hopefully ask for an update. So this was an open letter requesting early voting to Mayor LaBrosse and members of the City Council. We can all agree that every voter in Hackensack deserves the opportunity to cast a vote in the May municipal election. In 2021, fewer than 4,000 voters made it to the polls in our local election. There are more than 25,000 registered voters in Hackensack, which means that fewer than 20% of our registered voters had their voices heard. Over the past 3 years, New Jersey has implemented an early voting system that has increased access to the ballot box. As part of the law, early voting is available for May municipal elections at no cost to local taxpayers. The state reimburses the county clerk for all aspects of holding 3 days of early voting preceding the election on May 13th, and those 3 days are statutory. To take advantage of this extraordinary opportunity that would triple the number of hours polls are open and available to Hackensack voters, the City Council simply needs to adopt an ordinance enabling the county clerk to offer early voting at up to 3 locations in the city. We requested that you take action today, February 25th, as it was the date of your next meeting. That did not happen, but perhaps there's an opportunity for future action to be taking place. At no cost to local taxpayers, failing to adopt such an ordinance would be a direct effort to disenfranchise Hackensack voters, since early voting is automatically available to voters throughout New Jersey in municipalities with partisan local elections. We trust that you share our respect for our neighbors and will empower them with greater access to the ballot box this May. And that was not only me, that was on behalf of myself, Agatha Toomey, Roberto Diaz, Phil Carroll, and Sonia Clark Collins. And so absent that taking place today, an update would be appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, we're aware of your request, and I'm going to defer to Steve to explain this.
Okay,
'cause
yeah,
it's-
yeah. Well, as you mentioned, because originally you mentioned a resolution, but then you corrected yourself and you said an ordinance, which, as you understand, would take 2 meetings. We didn't have a full opportunity to consider this request or for me to look at it because, we did not have a CAL meeting tonight. We did not have a closed session tonight. So I'm aware of the request. I'm going to look at it from a legal sense. We will have a CAL meeting in a couple of weeks and a closed session in a couple of weeks. And so if there's a decision to proceed, then it will be up to them whether to do that. But at this point, we have not had an opportunity to draft or research the appropriate ordinance to even consider that. So I think it's an open issue to be considered. And if there's a decision to take some action, I would suggest at the next meeting there would be a formal response.
Got it. And absent that, and I understand that, absent that, there's nothing that precludes anyone today on speaking on their feelings on it, even though there's...
Absolutely not. You have your 3 minutes. You spoke to them. Yep. Certainly, it's not out of bounds just because there's not an ordinance on the table. I do think it is important to point out to people, so that they're not under misunderstanding that, do keep in mind that in addition to Election Day, regardless of the decision here, there is now vote by mail for any reason whatsoever. So people who are concerned about their ability to vote on Election Day, regardless of whatever is decided here, I would encourage them to look into their vote by mail options, because in the old days, probably when we were starting out in political world, you had to say you were going to be out of town or you were going to be sick. No more. So anybody who wishes to vote and believes they may not be available on Election Day should, go to the county clerk and go file for a vote by mail ballot. You can now vote by mail permanently. I haven't voted in a machine in years. I signed up for it during COVID, and they just send me a ballot and I return it, and I'm not even sure what the voting machines look like anymore because I haven't been there since 2019. So do keep that in mind if a member of the public is listening, that is available to you and is encouraged as well. And then in the next couple of weeks, a decision would be made whether this provides additional benefit or not. Obviously, that would have to be done by ordinance. So it would take 2 meetings. So it would be done, prior to April if we decided to proceed with that. But obviously, timing-wise, it was a little difficult to address this request given the short meeting today.
Thank you. I just want to, and I'm going to step away. I just want to make the point, I appreciate you letting folks know that about the vote by mail because that is significant. Thank you. You know, there are over 80% of municipalities in New Jersey that have partisan elections, and they automatically have this right to not only expanded vote by mail, but also 3 additional days of early voting. So I don't think that someone's zip code should determine whether or not they have the same access to the ballot box. That's all. All right?
So this will be discussed now, and the other thing that wasn't mentioned is obviously we're missing 2 members tonight who would, if we did have a cow session, would have been here and part of a discussion on that if we were able to discuss it. But I thought, Mr. Gaines, you mentioned something about voting in Hackensack. Were you talking, because the way I understood it, the only way there was no cost to the city is if it was only at the county building. Is that correct, Bert?
Sorry. Or were you asking me or were you asking?
Well, I was asking,
Yeah,
because I thought you mentioned 3 places in Hackensack.
The county building is in Hackensack.
Yes,
And
I
I'm not saying that to
understand
be snarky. I'm saying that would qualify.
Well, no, if you were talking about other, like, schools or.
No,
anything
it's,
else,
in
there
fact, the
is a cost.
statute says that they can't be schools.
no.
That's correct.
Cannot
Right.
be schools, and it's up to 3.
Up to 3. I said that.
And in every other election, it's always just the county building.
Yeah, the county building is
Yeah,
satisfactory.
that's
Just
it.
be the
I just wanted to make, when I heard you mention 3.
Yeah, it's up to 3.
Locations, I got confused. I thought, well, we're only thinking of the county building.
No,
so-
county building would qualify.
Right.
All right, thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Next person from the public, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
evening, City Manager, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council. My name is Marlene Somerville. I'm a Hackensack resident. So the first thing is to say thank you very much for you guys today assisting us in putting on the Black History Month celebration, honoring labor as the theme, and the Black-owned businesses in Hackensack. Know that it was not the full turnout of all the individuals that were requested to attend, but those that did a phenomenal job. The presentation was superb, and Allison, thank you very much for the hard work that you put in to put this together. It was very much so appreciated. My question to you guys is how can we, moving forward, right, turn this into not just a Black History Month event, but an annual event? So I'm fully aware that everybody here understands, you know, Black History Month, but Black History Month is every month, right? It is every month, it is every day, it is every week, it is every year, it is consistent, it is part of American history. So I would like for us to be able to make sure that for our Black-owned businesses in Hackensack, we can do something that is not only for the month that it is here, but kind of sort of in perpetuity, and what can we do to make it an annual event that doesn't necessarily require us celebrating, you know, just the 1 month and the 1 day. So that is my question to you guys, and I'm hoping that we can have, you know, a robust conversation to be able to see how we can be a little bit more inclusive and not just expand it beyond just the businesses that are on Main Street, but to other different businesses that's within our vicinity. Thank you.
Understood. Yep, good idea. Thank you. Next member from the public, please. Seeing no one from the public, motion to close to the public.
Offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Ms. Von Rudenberg?
Sure. Good evening, everyone.
Mrs. Von Rudenberg, sorry.
Listen, thanks for coming out, everybody. We did have a wonderful night downstairs celebrating our Black-owned businesses. It was just a great way to showcase some of our local businesses and the people behind it. You know, it's not easy to run a small business. It takes a lot of work and sacrifice for anyone that has done that, and we appreciate them being here and believing in the city and wanting to be here. So we wanted to show their support, and it was a great networking event as well. I know Ms. Sharif mentioned earlier she didn't know that some of those businesses were here, so it was nice you saw them talking to each other, and, you know, it was just a nice opportunity. So along with what Ms. Somerville said, you know, making this a bigger event and turning into a bigger networking opportunity and really being there to support our businesses is important, because we appreciate them being here and believing in our city. And thank you to Allison for all the hard work, because it was a lot of work that went into that, and we appreciate it. Congratulations to all of our promotees from the police department. Great group of gentlemen. I know many of them, and, you know, well deserved. And, you know, every time something like that happens, you feel safer, you feel like you're in safer hands because you have a good group at the helm, and we appreciate their service and their dedication to our city. This Sunday is the Hackensack Junior Wrestling League Tournament, the Twin County Tournament at the high school. It's a pretty big turnout. All of the Northern New Jersey wrestling programs come out to compete. And if you're around and want to stop by, please stop by Sunday at the high school. A lot of work goes into it, and it's really an amazing event to see everyone out there. And that's it for me. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, Steph. I'll reiterate, and also I want to thank you, Marlene, for coming up with this suggestion about celebrating the Black-owned businesses here in Hackensack. And they weren't just Main Street. I think there were some from other parts. There was certainly the one from the corner
Central
of
Ave.
Central. And so we had, you know, folks from throughout the town. And I agree. I mean, I think this is a nice event, and we could invite whoever we like, and those that received their proclamations this year certainly could continue to be invited, and then any new businesses that open up could be also recognized and receive a proclamation from the city to recognize all of their efforts. And I think, you know, we probably want to do that throughout, you know, other businesses as well. You know, let people be aware of, here's what we really are seeing in town. Let's support our businesses that are in town, all of our businesses. You know, it's very difficult. Post-COVID, it's been extremely difficult to open a new business, you know, not just here, everywhere. You know, folks were a little bit hesitant of taking or, you know, spending that type of money. First-year investment in a new business is quite high. So they appreciate that support. And we get to, I mean, even the two different places that provided, or three different places that provided food said, oh, I'm going to stop over by you, or I'm going to come recommend some of the things that you had. So, you know, it's getting even the businesses to support each other aside from just the public. So thanks for coming up with that suggestion. And of course, the police department promotions, well-deserved. I mean, Chief Antista is doing a great job. You know, we are, as a council, committed to give him whatever he needs to be successful and to really turn the police department into the model, as Director Guidetti said, you know, a model for others to follow. The command center is just spectacular that we've been able to put together for the police department, and giving them state-of-the-art. They deserve the best of everything. Training and utilities such as the command center is just phenomenal. I usually go through things quickly that I'm involved with, because, you know, reading it through a docket, sometimes you really don't know what we're talking about up here. So just a couple of quick things, as far as the change to the stormwater ordinance that Steve talked a little bit about, just so folks know, really the major thrust of that was now we have very rigid stormwater requirements that come from the DEP. And then on top of that, here in the city of Hackensack, we have even stricter stormwater requirements that we place on. So when new buildings and developments are proposed, they must adhere to both the state DEP and our own Hackensack requirements as well. These storm requirements don't change those. What they did is they've now included, if you're doing road work or railroad work, they now also have stormwater requirements where they didn't before. So they're seeing the benefits of doing some of these things, and they're now expanding it to other uses. So pretty much that's what that's about. We talked about 463 Main Street. 463 Main Street, those of you remember the old Bruce the Bed King, that's the property we're talking about. It's across the street from Aldi there, and they're moving along. It's taken them some time to get their financing together, but they're ready to start moving forward. It's a smaller project, about 130 units that will be going into that building. So that's the talk about 463 Main Street. The Sears redevelopment designation. Sears has been now vacant more than 2 years. This council has been very strong in saying we had two iconic buildings that were in the downtown that definitely we wanted those buildings to remain, and one of them was 210 Main Street, the old, I'm dating myself now, People's Trust Bank years ago, and it has been, and it's fully occupied. So with Sears, we also want that iconic tower to remain. And when it's been vacant for more than 2 years, you know, you start to see, you know, think about it, if your house, no heat, no air conditioning, you know, you're going to have conditions in there that were all documented in this proposal. So that was part of this designation that was on here for tonight as well. Two other things, we're still, CFO was here, you know, we're still pushing to, in our conjunction with the Board of Education, to get moving on this purchase of property to build a new school. You know, we've been actively engaged with the Board of Ed for years. I mean, how many years ago, Steph, did we do the original proposal for them? and they never moved forward on that. But this proposal, they chose the land, and the city has agreed to purchase the land and donate the use of the adjacent parking lot, and even build over the adjacent parking lot to accommodate everything that the Board of Education wants. They canceled our last meeting, and, we're hearing, that the new board members are maybe hesitant to move forward with a new school. So we're encouraging everyone to please support this initiative. We personally have been promoting this and working with the Board of Ed for over 10 years to get this accomplished. And we're this close. We were this close, prior to your last Board of Ed election. And we're hoping we could push it over the goalpost before these properties are purchased by someone else. So we're asking everyone, go to your Board of Ed meetings, all right? Say, let's get moving on this. We have the plan. We don't want to get into another Padre PO where we're paying $1 million a year in a lease. So we were really working together, and we really had a plan. City wants to chip in, so let's get that done. Just real quickly about Teterboro Airport. I talk about that when I have meetings with them. I've spoken at length last time about this, where some of the problems with using the alternate flight path over Route 17 were coming from their inadequate, really, supply of air traffic controllers because they were coming out of Long Island. They've since moved it, and air traffic controllers now for us and for the Newark area as well are now in Philly. So there is more availability, and they're actually testing using this during the day, which is what I personally have been pushing for years now. So they have, I've asked, and the airport committee has designated me to head up a focus group that I've asked for, because I think now is the time to strike while the iron is hot, while we have new air traffic controllers, we have new interest in supporting this and helping our residents, have at least some of this volume decreased of the noise pollution, air pollution, et cetera, from the increased volume of planes that are flying over, coming down Prospect over the hospital on top of everything else. So I'll keep you posted. We're going to meet monthly, so that would be a big help. The other meetings are only quarterly, and it's tough to get something done when you only meet a few times a year. So this is the most optimistic I've felt about us making some progress here, and I know there's many concerned residents in town that are interested in hearing that. Okay, I think that's it. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Enjoy the rest of the week and the weekend. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Kat. So I too want to thank all the black-owned businesses who came tonight. We need to work on absolutely get more people at this. I appreciate Ms. Somerville's points on maybe making this year-round and doing different types of things. I think we need to be promoting all businesses in Hackensack, black, white, whatever. What I love about the businesses in Hackensack is you can go and just about get anything you want in our downtown, in local shops. I visit quite frequently a lot of our restaurants, and it's, we have Vietnamese, we have all different Latino types of restaurants, we have black-owned restaurants, you have Indian food. It's a great mix, just like our city. And that's what's so great about the downtown right now. I love it. I thought the promotions were great tonight. I thought some of the speeches by the director and the chief, and Greg Ziza in particular. I also want to bring up Greg Ziza. Greg Ziza, since he's been on the force, the Ziza name in Hackensack is synonymous with some cloudy past. But that kid has nothing to do with that. That kid has always done the right thing since I've known him, and he's worked his way through the ranks and deservedly got the rank of captain tonight. And kudos to him, because it wasn't easy for him, I'm sure. And it wasn't easy for all of them. Like they said, those tests are hard. They have to take those tests and pass, and it takes a lot of time, and a lot of them have young families, so it takes them away from their families. But they stuck it out and did the right thing, and that shows true leadership when you can do that. So we get the right guys in the right place, so that's a good thing. Right now, we're in the middle of picking bands for the summer concert series, which I'm hoping to do 5 or 6 this year. I don't know what the numbers are going to show. I see Jim's in the audience. He's going to have something to do with that.
Hey, you upped from last year.
Well, we went down last year, that's why. I think, maybe. No?
We had
No, we
one
went up?
last year. We had one last year.
Oh, we had more? Well, we got to stay the same at least.
No, it's budget crunch time, so we'll see.
I
We'll
see.
sharpen our pencils.
So, yes, and Stephanie mentioned our regional junior wrestling tournament, which has been held in Hackensack since my kids were 6 years old, started wrestling. It's an exciting weekend for the mayor because his sons have wrestled in that tournament multiple times. This is the first time I have two grandsons wrestling in that tournament this weekend, so it's going to be fun to watch, and wish them well. And having been a wrestling coach for years, it's fun to see your grandkids doing it, your sons coaching them. That's always fun to see. In answer to Mr. Serbo, these buildings create, where's Rich still here? He's in the back.
Yes, he's there.
So these buildings, Rich, create hundreds of jobs, and a lot of them are done. The amount of people it takes to build these buildings is hundreds for some of these larger buildings. So it creates hundreds of construction jobs. A lot of those construction workers spend their money in the city going for lunch or coffee. So yeah, there's jobs created, and once the business is open, once that building's open, it takes dozens of people to run that building. They're big buildings, they have on-site staff, and it's a great financial catalyst for the city, where we created an economic engine where, people getting jobs building the buildings, people work in the buildings once they're created, those people go out.
And look how many of the existing businesses have spruced up, how their businesses increased.
That's my next thing, the
And-
amount of businesses that have opened, and we lost some through COVID. It was a tough time, like you mentioned, but a lot of them are holding on strong, and it's getting better, so I'm pleased with, retail is starting to pick up, and I think it's only gonna get
Tell
better.
about the new one we just went to, that was lovely. You can't pronounce, is it Bayers,
was,
Byers? We always say it wrong.
Betas, which is,
At
it's
210 Main
Argentinian.
Street, at 210 Main.
At 210 Main, there's another new coffee shop and pastry shop there, which is spectacular. Recommend anybody listening to go try it. It's very good. And had a lot of new businesses. We're always doing ribbon cutting, so that's a good thing for the city. So with that, I wish everybody a safe trip home, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you. Motion to close the meeting.
Offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, none opposed. Good night, everybody.